American cities are on fire. There's rioting, looting, and police officers are being shot in the streets. Black Lives Matter is encouraging cities and towns to defund the police. And while we share BLM's frustration with police abuses, we're excited to share with them that there is a much better solution. What if there was a single, simple change to policing that would end the racial and societal division in our cities, end forced lockdowns and mask mandates, break the backs of drug cartels and pimps, save taxpayers billions of dollars, and focus the police on real crimes with real victims? That simple change is ending enforcement of victimless crimes, and it can be done by the local sheriff, town councils, or the police officers themselves by getting together collectively and refusing to go along. The biggest problem with policing isn't the police. It's politicians and bureaucrats that use legislation and executive orders, forcing the police to raise revenue on their friends and neighbors, arrest peaceful people for victimless crimes, or steal money, vehicles, and property using civil asset forfeiture. When police are busting murderers, rapists, and thieves, and everybody loves the police, it is the enforcement of victimless crimes and raising revenue on the population that is causing racial and societal division. In those policies, and the violence stops, and people will once again respect the police. I know from personally speaking with dozens of police officers and deputies that they don't want to be enforcing lockdowns that are bankrupting local businesses or raising revenue on their friends and neighbors. But they feel trapped by the prospect of losing their jobs and their pensions, and now the politicians are trying to force them to commit even more tyrannical acts, instituting stealth gun confiscation under the guise of red flag laws, and now openly discussing using the police for mandatory vaccinations. Myself and some friends decided to do something about it. My name is Howard Lickman, and I'm the co-founder of the Thick Red Line Project. And we are helping sheriffs, police chiefs, deputies, and officers to say no to the politicians who would have them use violence and fines, which is simply extortion under the color of law, on peaceful people. We are helping them organize collectively and draw a thick red line in the sand. If they are united as an agency and supported by the community, then there is no way that politicians can force them to do anything. We're asking our friends, colleagues, elected representatives, and everyone who wants to see the violence stop to help. We're raising $10,000 to get the project off the ground, and the money will allow us to print hard copies of a handbook that we created to help sheriffs, police chiefs, deputies, and officers organize their agencies. We want to mail copies to elected officials, journalists, community leaders, and citizen activists in cities that are being pressed to defund their departments, so that they know there is a better way that ends the violence without throwing those cities and towns into turmoil. If you want to help, then we have hard copies of our handbook and cards for cops to help you support your local sheriff and local police department. If you can help in a big way, then we can organize a mailing and calling campaign that can get information into the hands of your local sheriff, police chief, elected officials, journalists, television and newspapers, community leaders, and community activists. Together, we can stop the violence, end the lockdowns, keep hundreds of thousands of people out of for-profit prisons, save the taxpayers billions, break the backs of drug cartels and pimps, end 60,000 SWAT team raids a year, and most importantly, restore respect for the police and get them focused on real crimes with real victims. No victim, no crime equals peace and equal rights for all. www.thickredline.org. Thank you.